Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray as we roll out show number 498. In 2 weeks, we will celebrate 500 shows here in Memphis, Tennessee. It's part of the Intercom family for many of those times, and we're really putting together a special show for that October the 31st with a lot of guests that we've had on the show over the years. We're going to bring back some of those, and you're going to be you're going to get a hoot out of Cy Robertson. We're going to replay the interview that we had with Uncle Cy and the Psychotics in their singing group. So I'm looking forward to that. But looking forward to this next gentleman, and Frank Barton is our co-host. And, Frank, I know that you are a man that loves dogs. I could ask you how Hope is doing, but I'm afraid to. I don't know if Hope is doing well. Go ahead and tell me, Frank, how's Hope doing?
Hope is doing well, Larry.
Okay, good.
I like Hope.
Okay, well, you better like Hope.
She's gonna be fine.
She's gonna be fine. Okay, well, speaking of fine, I tell you what, a longtime friend of mine over the years is Gary Trask, and when Gary sent me an email recently about a place that he has come to be part of. The Dan Shepard PR folks, and said that, man, this would be a great place for some people in the Mid-South, or whether you're in Brownsville, Tennessee, or Jackson, Mississippi, or Jackson, Tennessee, or all over the Mid-South. We're going to tell you about a destination here on Outdoors with Larry Ray. You know we like to do that, and this one is a really, really nice place if you're out looking for someplace, and I'm looking forward to talking to Steve Helms. He is the vice president of Primland, a luxurious resort in Southwest Virginia, which is actually in Meadows of Dan, Virginia. And Steve, I love that name for a town. I just that sets the tone. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Larry. Yeah, Meadows of Dan's. I get that quite often. It's very unique. It
is unique. Well, let's talk. Speaking of unique, talk about the facility there. Steve, because I know if you go online, folks, and you can look at primland.com, as Frank has already done this morning, it's pretty overwhelming. So talk about that facility.
Well, thank you very much. Primland is a full-service resort. We have hunting and fishing. We do pheasant, quail, and chukar hunting, upland style, and we do the driven style pheasant shoots also. And then we have deer hunting. We've just started archery. We have black powder coming up in November and rifle, and right thereafter. And then we do spring gobbler on the turkey. We got a great sporting clays course. We got a championship golf course designed by Donald Steele. It goes right around the lodge area. Beautiful. On top of the mountain.
Yes.
There's a lot of different things here.
So many different things. And talk about the history here, because Didier Primate, did I pronounce that fairly close?
Didier Prima.
Didier Prima.
Silent, but yes, you're very close. And he bought the property in 1977. And actually, I've been working for him since the early '80s, and so actually celebrated. I'm on year 36 here now, and
wow, okay.
We kind of grew up with the property, and it's been seen some changes here over the years. When we first bought it, we were a timber operation. It was very remote. It had been a land grant from the King of England back in the 1700s, and always remained one large tract of land. It's kind of the east face. Yeah, it's actually the east face of the Blue Ridge Mountains. So when you look out some of our lodging units, you actually can see the high-rise buildings in Winston-Salem, and on a perfectly clear day, you can see them in Greensboro. But it's that east face of the Blue Ridge.
Yeah.
And the upper part of the property is about 3,000-foot elevation, and down where we do the hunting is about 1,200 to 1,500-foot elevation. But we were a logging and timber operation in the 80s, became an Orvis endorsed wing shooting lodge in 1990, added sporting clays and RTVs and all that stuff at that point in time, horseback riding, and then built the golf course in the early 2000s and opened the new lodge in 2009, and we've added some tree houses, some more cottages, and so on since we've opened up. And but yeah, that's kind of the way it's progressed. And we went from a hunting, more predominantly hunting operation to a full service resort. But it's got its advantages. We're one of those hunting destinations where the wife wants to go along.
It's there's so many. I think this is not a one night stand. I mean,
that's right. We get people staying quite a few nights, and a diverse of activities where they come in, shoot clays, and maybe quail hunt in the morning, and pheasant hunt in the afternoon, and while the wife's in the spa or whatever.
Yeah, and the tree houses. You kind of went right past those, Steve, but those are very unique. Talk about how many of those do you have now? I mean,
we have 3 tree houses, and they're set up on a point overlooking the Dan River.
Yes,
Meadows of Dan, the name comes from. We're on the headwaters of the Dan River, and that's where we do our fly fishing. And you're up on top of the mountain and looking down, almost straight down, about 1,200 foot to the river at the bottom. And those tree houses have that Piedmont view, and it's Piedmont meaning that 60-mile view down to the southeast.
Right. Yeah.
And they're quite spectacular. They've got a nice deck on them and a heck of a view. And people seem to stay put in those a little more and get out and do some hiking and stuff. But it's not, they get there, they just kick back and enjoy that view and the comforts of the treehouse.
Of course, you have the lodge, and the treehouse is part of the experience that you may have. But the lodge itself will hold how many? How big is
There's
the lodge?
26 rooms in the lodge,
Okay.
and then we've got 2. We got a fine dining restaurant. And we have a pub in there also, and a theater and a spa,
yes,
and all that. And then some meeting rooms and conference rooms and so on in there, and the golf pro shops in the lodge also.
And of course, being as Frank knows, I'm gonna play golf till I make a hole in one, then I'll quit. Okay, I'm 77 years old, and I came close 2 days ago. Close meaning I was on the green. No, I mean real close. But folks, if you go then, and the website is beautiful, Steve. I mean, it gives that view, talks about the golf course, the elevation, the people that can come there, and of course we're an outdoors folks here, and Frank is a waterfowl hunter. I'm a deer hunter, but we all have in this Mid-South, and where we are, this place that you call home. I mean, you got a good job, Steve.
Yeah, my drive's pretty nice into work each morning. I'm from the area, born and raised here in Meadows of Dan. My family goes back several generations here, and it's like you guys. I like to deer hunt and bird hunt, but the opportunities for wild bird in this area when I grew up, they were quail and grouse, but they're limited now. And but we've got some great pheasant hunting. We stock about 40,000 birds a year on this property, and we can take about 8 groups at a time, mostly plant with the fields we plant are milo, sorghum, millet, things of that nature, and we've got a lot of switchgrasses and stuff planted, so great habitat, and it's kind of the rolling foothills of the mountains here, and it sets itself up great for those European-style driven shoots where we get to use some of those retrievers.
Well, we're in the flatlands of West Tennessee and East Arkansas, me and Frank, and I grew up and I went to school in the mountains, and I would much rather go to the mountains than go to the beach. I'm sorry. I'm glad you don't have a sandy beach there.
Well, it's about 5 hours to the beach. So,
that's okay.
We have a lake though that we do.
You do have a lake.
Kayaking on, but that's about as close as we get.
Yeah, Frank, you've seen the pictures of it. Give me your after you've looked at the facility from your point of view, Frank.
It's you can tell it's a first-class facility.
Yes.
Well, I've never been there. I've looked at their website enough. I've been looking at it as we've been talking. It's first class. It's one of those things that if someone that hasn't had the experience of going on any type of pheasant hunt, for instance, we don't get a lot of pheasants around here in eastern Arkansas and western Tennessee. but I have gone on a European style pheasant shoot and a driven pheasant shoot and a tower shoot before.
Yeah. It's like you're there.
It's a lot of fun. Especially if you're a dog person.
Well, Frank is a dog person, Steve. I can tell you that. And we got a couple of minutes. I really like your ambassadors too that you have. That's a great idea that you brought in. Jay Haas, of course.
And
then of course, you've got the man with the car, the fast guy. What's his name? I can't remember.
Tom Christensen.
Yes, you've got him as an ambassador from Denmark.
Yeah, he is one of our owners. Used to drive for the 24 Hours Le Mans.
Le Mans,
for everybody's, and we got easy to get him here. And we used to do a little experience here at Primland, and we went down to Virginia International Raceway also, which is not too far away. And we did that for a few years, and of course, COVID's knocked anything like that in the
yes, it has
for the time being.
Yeah, well, I really appreciate you, Steve Helms, Vice President for Primland, and so tell our listeners out there, Steve, where to go to get information about your wonderful facility.
Well, certainly, Primland.com is we'll have everything on there, and just PRIMLAND.com, and our toll-free number is 866-960-7746. We'd love to welcome you here anytime. We're open year-round. There's a little bit of time in the midweeks in January that we'd catch up on some maintenance stuff, but otherwise we're pretty much so open 24/7.
Just go to that website, like Steve said, PRIMLAND, and it's the website is great. Steve, thank you. Tell Gary Trask hello for me, and I hope to maybe someday working out a trip over there and get to see you guys in person, okay?
Well, Larry and Frank, very nice talking with both of y'all, and love to have you here anytime you get an opportunity.
Thank you. All right, let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry Ray and be right back.